Hello, dear friends, and welcome. It's wonderful to have you with us today. We're going to talk about something that touches almost all of our lives, especially as we navigate our golden years with wisdom and grace. Medications. Whether it's a daily tablet for blood pressure, a vitamin supplement, or an occasional pain reliever, these medications are our allies in maintaining health and managing conditions. We trust them to work effectively when we need them. But have you ever stopped to consider where you store these vital helpers? Imagine this. Mrs. Gable diligently takes her heart medication every morning. She keeps it conveniently on her kitchen counter, right next to the tea kettle, so she never forgets. Or perhaps Mr. Henderson, who needs his eye drops, keeps them on the bathroom shelf for easy access after his shower. These seem like sensible everyday practices, don't they? However, what if I told you that these common storage spots, and a few others we often use without a second thought, could actually be invisible killers of our medications? Places where heat, humidity, light or temperature fluctuations are silently degrading our pills and potions, reducing their effectiveness, or worse, potentially making them harmful. It's a startling thought, isn't it? We rely on these medications, often at significant expense, to keep us well. The last thing we want is for their power to be compromised, simply because of where we keep them in our homes. Today we're going to uncover 5 common household spots where medications should never be stored. We'll explore why these places are problematic and what harm they can cause to different types of medicines. And most importantly, we'll discuss how to store them correctly to ensure they remain safe and effective, right up until their expiration date. This isn't about creating alarm, but about empowering you with crucial knowledge to protect your health and get the most out of your treatments. So let's open up our home medicine cabinets, metaphorically speaking, and learn how to keep our medications safe and sound. First on our list of medication danger zones is a place many of us spend a lot of time in, and a place where convenience often dictates storage: the kitchen. Think about it: your kitchen counter, a shelf near the stove, or even a cabinet above the sink. These spots seem handy, especially if you take medications with meals or a glass of water. However, the kitchen is often a battlefield of fluctuating temperatures and high humidity, making it a high-risk area for most medications. Consider the heat generated during cooking. When you're boiling water, using the oven, or simmering a stew on the stovetop, the ambient temperature in the kitchen can rise significantly. Many medications are sensitive to heat. Heat can accelerate the chemical degradation of active ingredients, essentially breaking them down and reducing their potency. This means the medication might not work as well as it's supposed to. For example, certain antibiotics or hormonal medications can lose their effectiveness if exposed to repeated heat cycles. Think about syrup-based medications, like cough syrups or liquid antacids. Heat can change their consistency, cause ingredients to separate, or even promote the growth of bacteria if the preservative system is compromised. Capsules, too, can be affected. The gelatin shells can soften, stick together, or even melt in high heat, potentially altering how the medication is released into your body. Mrs. Peterson kept her thyroid medication in a little dish on the counter near her toaster. She didn't realize that the daily warmth from the toaster and the general kitchen heat were slowly diminishing its strength, which could explain why her thyroid levels weren't as stable as her doctor expected. Then there's the humidity. Kitchens are a prime source of moisture in the home, from steam billowing from pots and pans, the dishwasher running, or even just washing dishes in the sink. Humidity is a major enemy of many medications, especially tablets and capsules. Moisture can cause tablets to crumble, crack, or dissolve prematurely. It can make capsules sticky or cause them to break open. More seriously, moisture can trigger chemical reactions in the medication, leading to its breakdown and loss of efficacy. Some medications, like aspirin, are particularly prone to breaking down in humid environments, which can not only make them less effective, but also potentially more irritating to the stomach. So that convenient kitchen shelf, it might be silently sabotaging the very medicines you rely on. Our second problematic spot, and perhaps the most notorious offender when it comes to medication storage, is the bathroom, specifically the medicine cabinet above the sink or any shelf within the bathroom. Think about what happens when you take a hot shower or bath. The bathroom fills with steam. and moisture condenses on every surface. This creates an environment of consistently high humidity. As we just discussed with kitchens, moisture is incredibly damaging to many medications. It can cause tablets to disintegrate, capsules to become sticky and meld together, and powders to clump. Aspirin, as mentioned, readily breaks down in the presence of moisture, forming acetic acid, which gives it a vinegar-like smell, and salicylic acid, reducing its effectiveness and increasing the risk of stomach upset. Effervescent tablets or powders, like some vitamin C supplements or antacids, are designed to react with water. Storing them in a humid bathroom can cause them to react prematurely, fizzing away their potency before you even get a chance to use them. Even if your medications are in seemingly sealed containers, the constant opening and closing of those containers in a humid environment can allow moisture to enter. The repeated cycles of heat and humidity from daily showers can create a perfect storm for medication degradation. It's like creating a little drug graveyard right there in your bathroom. Imagine Mr. Johnson, who keeps his important heart medication in the bathroom cabinet. Every morning after his steamy shower, he opens the bottle. Over time, the pills might be absorbing moisture, slowly losing their stability and effectiveness, without him even realizing it. This isn't about convenience. It's about ensuring the medication he relies on for his life is working at its full potential. So, despite its traditional name, the bathroom medicine cabinet is a place your medicines should definitely vacate. The third common but problematic location for storing medications is a windowsill. It might seem like a bright, cheerful spot, perhaps in your bedroom or living room. You might place your pill organizer there so the sunlight reminds you to take your medication. However, direct sunlight can be a potency killer for many drugs. The culprit here is ultraviolet, UV radiation from the sun. Many medications are photosensitive, meaning they can be chemically altered or broken down when exposed to light, particularly UV light. This process is called photodegradation. When a medication degrades due to light exposure, its active ingredient can become less effective, or in some cases, it can even transform into a different, potentially harmful compound. Vitamins are a classic example. Many vitamins, such as vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, riboflavin, vitamin B2, and folic acid, are notoriously sensitive to light and can lose their potency significantly if left on a sunny windowsill. That vitamin supplement you're taking for your health could be losing its power before it even gets a chance to work. Certain prescription medications are also highly susceptible to light. For example, some antibiotics, like those in the quinolone class, such as ciprofloxacin or tetracyclines, diuretics, antihistamines, and even some psychiatric medications need to be protected from light. That's why many of these medications come in amber-colored bottles or opaque packaging to shield them from harmful light rays. If you transfer these medications to a clear pill organizer and leave it sitting in direct sunlight on a windowsill, you're bypassing that protection. Think of Mrs. Chen, who carefully organizes her weekly pills, including her blood pressure medication, which is light-sensitive, into a clear plastic container she keeps on her sunny kitchen windowsill. While her organization is commendable, the location is unfortunately undermining the medication's stability. The sun's rays, while life-giving in many ways, can be a silent destroyer of your medication's effectiveness. Our fourth danger zone for medications is your car. How many times have you left medications in the car, perhaps meaning to take them with you? Or maybe you picked up a prescription and left it in the glove compartment for a few hours, or even overnight. While it might seem harmless for a short period, a car can be a place of extreme temperature fluctuations, turning it into a veritable medication killer. Consider the temperature inside a parked car, especially during different seasons. In the summer, even on a moderately warm day, the interior of a car can heat up like an oven, reaching temperatures far exceeding the outside air. Temperatures inside a parked car can easily soar above 100 degree, 38 degree, or much higher. As we've established, high heat is detrimental to the stability of most medications, accelerating their breakdown. Insulin is a prime example of a medication that is extremely sensitive to heat. If insulin gets too hot, it loses its effectiveness, which can be life-threatening for someone with diabetes who relies on it to control their blood sugar. Similarly, many biologic drugs, hormone therapies, and even some common liquid antibiotics need to be kept within specific temperature ranges and can be quickly ruined by excessive heat. Conversely, in the winter, a car can become incredibly cold, with temperatures dropping well below freezing in many climates. Extreme cold can also damage medications. Liquid medications like syrups or suspensions can freeze. When they thaw, their consistency and the even distribution of the active ingredient can be altered, meaning you might not get the correct dose. Some medications, particularly protein-based ones or emulsions, can become irreversibly damaged by freezing. Suppositories, which are designed to melt at body temperature, can be altered by extreme heat, melting, or cold, becoming too brittle. So, that prescription you left in the car overnight when the temperature plummeted, it might not be safe or effective to use anymore. The car, with its wild temperature swings, is simply too unstable an environment for the safe storage of medicines. It's best to take your medications with you when you leave the car, or to transport them directly home from the pharmacy without prolonged stops. The fifth and final common spot that can be a medication trap is your bag or purse. Many of us carry medications with us when we're on the go, perhaps a daily dose we need to take while out, an emergency medication like an asthma inhaler or nitroglycerin for angina, or even just some pain relievers or motion sickness pills. While it's essential to have necessary medications with you, the inside of a bag or purse can be a surprisingly hostile environment for them. Think about the conditions inside a typical handbag or backpack. It's often subject to a lot of movement and jostling. Pills can get crushed or broken if they're not in a sturdy container. Capsules can get dented or split open. But beyond the physical agitation, temperature fluctuations can again be an issue. Your bag might be left in a hot car for a short period, or sit in direct sunlight on a park bench, or be exposed to cold temperatures if you're outside in winter. These temperature changes, even if not as extreme as inside a parked car for hours, can still contribute to medication degradation over time, especially for sensitive drugs. Humidity can also build up inside a closed bag, particularly if you get caught in the rain or if the bag is made of non-breathable material. Furthermore, if medications are loose in a bag, they can come into contact with other items, perhaps a stray coin, a leaking pen, or even crumbs of food, which can contaminate them or damage their packaging. Consider Mrs. Rodriguez, who always keeps her allergy medication in a small side pocket of her purse. That purse gets tossed around, sits in various environments throughout the day, and the pills, even in their blister pack, are subjected to these constant changes. While convenient, this less-than-ideal storage could mean that when she really needs that allergy pill to work quickly and effectively during an unexpected reaction, its potency might have been subtly compromised. If you must carry medications in your bag, ensure they are in their original protective packaging or a proper pill case. Try to keep the bag out of extreme temperatures and only carry what you need for a short period, replenishing from your properly stored home supply. So we've journeyed through the kitchen, the bathroom, the sunny windowsill, the temperature-crazed car, and the unpredictable environment of our bags, uncovering why these common spots are actually detrimental to the health of our medications. If you've recognized some of your own storage habits in these examples, please don't feel bad. This is all about learning and making positive changes moving forward. And if you're finding this information valuable, please take a moment to click that like button. It really helps others who need this advice to find it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love to have you as part of our community for more helpful insights. Now for the most crucial part. How should we be storing our medications to ensure they remain safe and effective, to let them stay young and potent? The good news is that the principles of proper medication storage are quite straightforward. The general rule of thumb for most medications is to store them in a cool, dry, dark place. What does this mean in practical terms for your home? A designated drawer or a shelf in a bedroom closet is often an ideal location. These spots are typically away from the heat and humidity of kitchens and bathrooms, and they are not exposed to direct sunlight. A linen closet, as long as it's not too humid, or a storage cabinet in a hallway could also work well. The key is to find a location that maintains a relatively stable, moderate room temperature and low humidity. Always keep medications in their original containers. These containers are specifically designed to protect the medication. For example, as we mentioned, amber-colored bottles protect against light. Some bottles have special caps to keep out moisture or are designed for child safety. When you transfer pills to weekly pill organizers, try to do it for only 1 week at a time, keeping the bulk of your medication in its original protective packaging. And when you do use a pill organizer, store that organizer in a cool, dry, dark place too, not on the kitchen counter or windowsill. Pay close attention to any specific storage instructions on the medication label or the patient information leaflet that comes with your prescription. Some medications have very precise storage requirements. For example, certain medications like unopened insulin, some liquid antibiotics, and certain eye drops must be refrigerated. Always check if your medication needs to be kept in the fridge, and if so, make sure it's stored in the main body of the refrigerator, not in the door where temperatures fluctuate more, and not too close to the freezer compartment, where it could accidentally freeze. Never store medications that require refrigeration at room temperature for extended periods, and likewise don't refrigerate medications that are meant to be stored at room temperature unless specifically instructed by your pharmacist. Protect medications from children and pets. This is a vital safety measure. Store all medications, whether prescription or over-the-counter, out of reach and sight of children. A high cabinet with a child-proof lock or a lockable medicine box can be a good solution, especially if you have young grandchildren visiting. Regularly check the expiration dates on all your medications. Do not use expired medications. Expired drugs may not only be less effective, but could also be harmful due to changes in their chemical composition. Dispose of expired or unused medications properly. Don't just flush them down the toilet or throw them in the trash, unless specifically instructed to do so. Many pharmacies offer medication take-back programs, or your local authorities might have guidelines for safe disposal. This prevents them from falling into the wrong hands or harming the environment. And finally, if you ever have any doubts or questions about how to store a particular medication, or if you think a medication may have been exposed to improper conditions, like being left in a hot car, don't hesitate to ask your pharmacist.